everybody? Welcome back to another episode here from the chariot on the bedrock breaking machine. If you caught my last stream, unfortunately, you know that things kind of broke, hence me riding along this chariot, placing pistons here. But today, we are not going to tackle this. Today we are just testing and we are going to tackle a slightly different project to help us deal with a different problem, mainly that which yours, yeah, exactly, that. These guys. We don't want any interruptions. We don't want any hassle with the hostile mobs here on the nether roof. As you can see, we have some pigmen, we have some more pigmen up here, we had a gas spawn in the stream, and that's not good. Obviously, you know, we just got shot by the skeleton, it broke a minecart, and bad things happen, worse things happen. So today, that's what we're going to tackle. So let me get out of the nether roof here, and then we'll start the project for today. All right, here we are back at our base. We just finished gathering all the materials we're going to need for this project. And now we are going to fly down into our cave down here where we have our ancient city. And the reason we're going to do so is because we're actually looking for one of the shriekers that we left back here. Because we want to turn this shrieker into a mob switch. Each player in a world has a spawn cap of 80 hostile mobs, and then no more mobs will spawn after that. And so what we're gonna do here with this shrieker that we cased in over here, I believe this is 1, 2, 3 shriekers. So we're gonna go with this one because it's the one that's lowest, and we're gonna turn this into a warden farm / mob switch. This is gonna help us in 2 ways. One, it'll disable all the spawning of hostile mobs in the nether when the farm is active at least. And it'll also disable all warden spawns in the overworld so that we can go explore more ancient cities without the warden blasting us in the face and taking all our stuff. So let me put down our projects boxes. Let me clear some room. I don't think we actually need this one. But what we can do is we can play some tunes while I clear out some area. And we're back with a nice prepared area for our warden farming preparations. Now, you may notice something different. You may notice that I have a lack of levels and I'm not wearing any pants. We're also missing one of our pickaxes because unfortunately I had a tremendous catastrophe. I flew out to get some glass as I forgot to put it in our preparations box here. And I forgot the #1 rule of flying. Don't look straight down. Because, as you can see, I fell from a high place. And that wasn't actually falling from a high place. I just hit the ground too fast. Obviously, you know, we entered through this great chasm. And I clipped this ledge a lot harder than I just did now. And unfortunately, some of my stuff ended up in the area below. More importantly, my pants and my fortune pickaxe. So those will need replacing. But we can keep going in the meantime. As you can see, I have set up this area here in preparation for our Warden farm. Now the Warden, you know, we have the what's it called, the Shrieker in there, that we collected all the ones that were around so they won't spawn. And the Warden can spawn in an 11 by 11 by 13 tall area around this Shrieker, actually centered on the Shrieker. So if we go here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. These blocks here are actually not Warden spawnable. And then from here, it goes 6 above and 6 below. And I don't think there's anything below here. So we're not going to worry about the stuff below, because the Warden will always prioritize spawning on the topmost block wherever that block is. So I'm going to build up the infrastructure here, and then we'll be right back and we can explain a little bit of it. Okay, so we got some things built. So this is going to be the Shrieker, and eventually around here we're gonna place a piston on top of here. We're gonna cover this with wool like that, and we are gonna have a little platform where we can come in and shoot. Here, let me see if I can break this without setting it off. Yeah, here the piston's gonna sit right here, right on top of this redstone torch. We will shoot an arrow in here, and it'll bounce up and down when we turn the system on, continuously triggering the Shrieker. Now, the Shriekers have a 10-second cooldown, which is why we have this line of repeaters here. And if I flip this lever, you'll see that this just makes its way over. The torch will turn off briefly and then turn back on, which will pull the piston up and down. And I can demonstrate just over here. And this will happen roughly every 10 seconds, actually exactly every 10 seconds, with the repeater line that we have here. And that counts as a player interaction, which will set off the Shrieker. You'll hear the monotonous ticking noise going off, and that's because the Wardens will spawn up here, and they will be drawn to this note block on the other side of this nether portal. The reason we have another portal down there is because that's where we come through. We don't want to come through here because we don't want to face any Wardens. We don't want to risk death. And so whenever we want to activate the system, we will enter from the nether here, and this will be our on-off switch, essentially. Now, I'm not going to go through the nether yet, because that's actually where we have to go next. We have to go set up the nether side of this infrastructure. So let me gather up my things and I'll see you there. All right, so here we are in an underground pit in the nether, as close to the bottom of the world as we could possibly manage without burning in a boiling lake of lava, because there is definitely a boiling lake of lava above us, as you can see by the little drippies here. Now, I've set up this portal here, and ideally, in theory, if I did my linking correctly, this portal is going to be where we go in to turn on the farm. And I have my little, you know, entrance and exit here, so that we can come and go as we please. Now, the other portal that I need is actually the portal for the Wardens. Now, if I did my calculations right, the other portal for the Wardens should be right here. Now, I know we're cutting it close, and this is very much... Oh, nope, nope, nope. There we go. Just like that. Now, in theory, this portal will let the Wardens come in, and since they're walking south, they'll come facing this direction, and so I want to funnel them over here in this direction, and that's kind of where we're going to store them. And then we're going to put a dividing wall here, and then this is going to be where we can safely come and go to turn on and off the farm. Now, that does mean that there's going to be like an entire train of Wardens kind of just like hanging out here whenever we come and go. But that's kind of the point of the dividing wall, right? Maybe we'll put up some glass. We can have like a nice little viewing area. And the idea is that they're all going to be distracted with their own little like noise machines. And the first thing we're actually going to do is we're going to test if these portals linked correctly. So we're going to go through this one here. And that is correct. Yep, we went through that one, came out exactly where we wanted to come out. And if we go back, we ended up in the exact same one. Now, if we go through this one, in theory, we should end up on the Warden platform. Perfect. And that is exactly why you build your portals in both dimensions as opposed to just one. Look at that. A perfectly linked portal, and these are what, 5 blocks apart? And we don't ever have to worry about wardens coming and biting our face. So, what is the plan next? Well, we are going to actually store our little baby wardens. And the idea is that we are going to have note blocks and observers. The plan is, obviously, you can't fit like 80 wardens inside a single block. So here is the setup. The wardens are gonna spawn in here. I'm gonna go simulate a warden. So I'm a warden, and I spawn up here, and I go, "Brrrr. What's that noise? What woke me? Oh, let's go find out. And they go through, and since entities don't have a cooldown, they immediately teleport through, and then they're like, oh, what's this place? What's this place? Now we're gonna have this unblocked to start with. And so the warden will be like, ugh, what's going on? And then it'll hear that one over there, and then it'll be like, ugh, I don't like this thing. Ugh, ugh. And it'll sit here. And then the next one will pile up. And then they'll all kind of just stand right here. At least that's the idea. They'll all stand right here. And then once there's enough of them, I can actually simulate what will happen. If I put this lever, pretend now there is now 20 wardens here going like, bleh. And now this happens. As soon as there's 20 wardens in here, the pressure plate will zero tick this note block into place. And now these guys, they can't go anywhere. And they're stuck. And now they're here like, oh, what's this? What's this? What's this? And then the next wardens come in, and they start coming through like, oh, what's going on? And now they're stuck here. And then the same thing happens, and the block closes behind them. So then we got, you know, roughly 20, then 20 here, then 20 here, and then however many back here. Now, the last thing we have to go do is actually get the wardens to spawn, and I'm hoping that having them just like walk over will be enough. Maybe we'll have to put like a vine here to disable like entity cramming. So actually, you know what? That would be really smart to do. Let's go do that. Let's go up and grab ourselves a vine, and then we can give this whole thing a test. All right, so we got the vines in place right where they're gonna be standing, and we don't want the vines here at the end because this area here, we don't mind if they entity cram. Like we want them to entity cram in this area so they like eventually die. And what we want to do actually is this bedrock placement is rather unfortunate because ideally we would have liked to collect their drops as the entity cram. So we'll figure that out later, I guess. Actually, let me quickly do a modification and then we'll continue. All right, so a quick modification later. What we did actually is I glitched a that's a hopper minecart, by the way, into the bedrock there, so that anything that drops in that vicinity will get picked up by the hopper minecart and then delivered into this chest. Now, the last thing we need to do is actually go prime the system and see if this works. All right, so we are back, and I think we are ready to get this whole thing started. Now, I've done some significant changes in this area. Notably, I added a chunk loader that we can turn on and off the area that we were trying to render. I'm currently missing a minecart, it seems. So we just have to load a minecart in there, and then we're good to go. I've made some changes over here as well, so that this Shrieker activation device is a little bit more reliable. You'll see I put a target block and a skulk sensor in there. And then we just shoot an arrow into the bullseye and it'll bounce up and down, and this will reliably trigger the Shrieker, as opposed to the issues I was having during testing where it would trigger once and then it wouldn't trigger again. But for right now, I think we can show the changes I've made over in the nether side, because honestly, I redid this entire area over here. So we're just gonna grab ourselves a minecart, just like that. And over here, you'll see that I have changed pretty much everything. We ripped out all the pistons, we ripped out all the other note blocks, and we went with just a clean 3 tall, 1 wide tunnel that the Wardens are trying to get to up there. And the idea is here, you see these holes, you see these little pitfall traps. The Wardens are going to come through and fall in there. And once enough of them fall in, this trap door will actually cover up the hole. And then they can sit there essentially forever. And they won't despawn, which is nice because they'll always have the note block going. And it is within range that they can hear it. So they'll just sit in that hole, sit in this hole, sit in this hole, and then at the very end here, they'll just fall down this hole. And then any extra Wardens will just sit and will collect their drops. And if we want to farm them, we can. And if we don't, we don't. So that's how this whole system works. This is the only thing I haven't given a try yet. So what we're going to go do is we are going to go spawn one singular Warden just to see if they walk into the hole like they're supposed to. So let us go back through here. We will activate the chunk loader to make sure that this area is loaded. All right, so we need one here, and we need one, and we can just drop it in here. Perfect, just like that. And now that system is working flawlessly. And now we turn this on so that we can prep our Shrieker for action. Then we come over here. Perfect. All right, and we want to be away from this. There's 2. All right, 2 more. And then we'll find the moment of truth. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for the Warden to spawn. And then we're going to turn the Shrieker system off. And then... So like that should have been a Warden, correct? Yep. Turn this off. The Warden should walk through the portal. The darkness should disappear. Perfect. So that is working exactly as intended. And now, the system has been loaded, and it has been running a few seconds, so we're going to go check on our friend the Warden on the other side of the portal here. We're going to go into free cam here, and we're going to see exactly where he is. And just as expected, he is in the very first hole. So that is very, very, very good news. Which means this is successful. We can now go turn on the farm permanently and just load up on Wardens. So let's go do that. All right, so I've sat here spawning Wardens for, I want to say about maybe half an hour, 20 minutes now. And so in theory, we should have a significant number of Wardens all just kind of hanging out on the other side of the nether. We are gonna walk over here and check on our friends. And it looks like we got this hole full, we have this hole full. We don't quite fully have this hole full, which means that we still need more Wardens for our farm. But everything is working exactly as designed, exactly as expected. Unfortunately, that is all the time that I have for today, considering this video is already late. And so I'm just gonna leave this project as a success, and then we are going to turn this on. And then on stream this Thursday, we will have this running while we work on our bedrock breaker so that we don't have issues with the skeletons, we don't have issues with the ghasts, And so if you made it this far, I really appreciate you for taking the time to watch my episodes and videos. Leave a like, leave a comment if that's something that you want to do. It really helps out. I like interacting with the community, and it helps the channel grow. So thank you so much, everyone, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.